So the king has to relinquish power. And this isn't a bloody revolution. You don't cut off his head or disembowel him or anything. In fact, he gets to stick around because you still need your brain, your ego. Your ego's not going to get killed, but you want to have it shut up long enough to take the 12 steps, because once the surrender is made, step 3, and the king relinquishes the throne, the journey has only begun. That's just the beginning. Those are the first 3 steps. Then the action begins. So who takes this journey? If we stay with the archetype, and I like archetypes because I like Carl Jung. Carl Jung, one of the great psychoanalysts, who was instrumental in starting AA indirectly. If you want to read that story, it's in here. Carl Jung believed in archetypal energy. It's a way of explaining psychologically who we are. We're constellations of energy. We are the poet, the king, the jester. There are all these different games. There's different types of energies that we have. And one is the warrior. The warrior is a powerful archetype. The Dark Knight Rising sold out at the Arlington tonight. This is a very popular archetype in our culture, and if you look at Batman, who's an archetype of that, he doesn't go out making war. He's a warrior. He's the warrior archetype. But the true warrior is not a war maker. He's just prepared. The first warrior image I ever learned about back in the, I guess, 60s or early 70s, there was a book by a guy named Carlos Castaneda called Don Juan. Some of you are nodding. It was a great hoax because he wrote these books about this old Yaqui Indian in northern Mexico who smoked peyote and had these visions and had all this wisdom and truth. And everybody thought it was just fabulous. And he had these hippies going down northern Mexico trying to find this old guy. And he just made him up. He was an archetype. He was an archetype of the wise old man. That's the archetype I strive for. The sage. Right? So anyway, Don Juan describes the warrior. It's a great story. This image of this warrior, it always stayed with me. The warrior is walking through the forest at night, and he's all ears. He hears every movement. If anything is coming to attack, he knows where it's coming from because he's fully conscious. He's in recovery, right? He's fully aware. Every cell of his being is, he can feel the energy from the darkest recesses. And he walks quietly. You can't hear him pass. And he's impeccable. And he's ready for anything. He has great courage, and he has great heart. And he comes across a snake, a big snake, poison snake, lying across the trail. They're in the darkness, in the night, it's cold. And he realizes, because he understands nature, he knows his environment. He's been responsible to study that. He knows that the snake, it couldn't make it home before it got dark. And if snakes' metabolism is at a certain temperature, they can't move very quickly. So it's kind of stuck. It's still dangerous, it's awake. So he, without making a choice, this isn't a choice that he makes. This is really important. He instinctively, because your instincts are part of your awareness, your consciousness. That's what you want in recovery. You want to get in touch with your instincts that you lost. Because you're maybe at an addictive family and they talked you out of it. Oh, I won't pay any attention to that. Do what I tell you to do. See, that's what they told you in school, to quell your instincts. The warrior's instincts are fully functional. And he dedicates himself in that moment to moving this snake to safety, to shelter, so it won't be attacked by a predator, vulnerable, lying out on the trail. He didn't have to do that. He could just stomp its head, and walk around it, but he doesn't. He risks his life to get that snake to a warm shelter. And get this, this is the most important thing. Having done that successfully, he is empowered. Can you see that? How much power there would be in having accomplished that? He's empowered.